At the beginning of the Shawshank Redemption, the warden makes an introduction. He tells the prisoners who his right-hand man is.
It's Mr. Hadley, he's captain of the guards.
He tells them who he is.
I'm Mr. Norton, the warden.
And then he tells the prisoners who they are.
You are convicted felons.
This means that from the very first moment, Shawshank isn't just locking them up, it's naming them. It's assigning an identity before they've spoken, before they've acted, before they've even taken a breath inside the prison walls. There's two levels to what's happening in a place like Shawshank. There's the surface level, the procedures, the rules, the introductions.
Move out of the cage, go to your left, pick up your clothes and Bible. Next man up.
And then there's the deeper level, the one that works on your sense of self.
Gone. Sealed off, brick by brick.
The warden isn't just establishing order, he's establishing authorship. He's telling these men who gets to define them now. And that second level is very important because that's the level most people don't notice until it's already done its work. On the surface, Shawshank controls your body, where you sleep, when you eat, what you're allowed to do. But underneath, it's trying to control something far more fragile. The story you tell yourself about who you are. That's the real punishment. Not the walls, not the bars, not the labor. It's the quiet pressure to accept the smallest version of yourself. Now, you can choose to accept this label, follow the rules, keep your head down, adapt to the routines, slowly but surely becoming the version of yourself the prison expects. Most men do, not because they want to, but because it's easier to live inside the story you're given than to fight for the one you came in with.
I ain't supposed to be here. Not me. Please,
Man, shut
please, it's been a mistake.
Or you can choose to refuse the identity that's being handed to you, even when everything around you is designed to make that refusal feel impossible.
Shine my shoes. I want them looking like mirrors.
This is what Andy Dufresne chooses, and you can see it early on, in a moment most people overlook, when one of the new inmates dies on his first night.
Dead? Hadley busted his head up pretty good.
Andy's first question is,
What was his name?
Shawshank never asks that, but Andy does. Even then, he refuses to let a person become just a label, not out of sentimentality, but as a quiet act of rebellion. You see it again on the rooftop when Andy risks everything just so the men can drink a beer like free men.
You get the forms, I'll prepare them for you. Nearly free of charge. I'd only ask 3 beers apiece for each of my co-workers.
Did you catch that? He doesn't call them inmates. Andy calls them his co-workers, a word with dignity, a word the prison would never use.
Co-workers, get him, that's rich, ain't it?
We sat and drank with the sun on our shoulders and felt like free men.
And of course, it's not about the beer. It's about giving them back a piece of themselves the prison tries to take. What's even more interesting is how Andy manages to do all of this without ever announcing it. He never declares who he is. He never argues with the system. He never tries to prove anything. Instead, he communicates his identity through the smallest, most ordinary choices. Choices that look insignificant until you realize they're all pointing in the same direction. He carves chess pieces out of rocks. He builds a library out of nothing. He plays music over the loudspeaker knowing it will cost him. They're reminders. They're signals to himself and to anyone paying attention that he still belongs to a world larger than the one he's trapped in. And that's the part most people miss about Andy Dufresne. His escape doesn't begin with a tunnel. It begins with an identity he refuses to surrender.
Funny how the smallest things got the heaviest weight to whom it may concern.